let's begin. So welcome everybody to this National Geographic Learning webinar. And today we're doing a model lesson, which is for teachers of English to young learners or primary or elementary school age students. And we're going to be looking at some teaching tips and teaching ideas. And you're going to be taking part in some of the activities. My name is Will Lasher. I'm sure a lot of you have seen me before. I'm the teacher trainer for National Geographic Learning for the Asia region. I'm originally from the UK, from England, and I'm now based in Singapore. I've been teaching and training in English language teaching in Asia since 2001. And as I do every week, I'd just like to do a quick poll, to find out who we have here today and what type of teachers we have. So I'm just going to launch the poll, and I just want you to click on all of the different segments that you teach. So if you teach all of them, you can select all of them. If you just teach one, you can select just one. Morning, Maria in Bangkok, welcome. Morning, Alexander. Okay, I'll just give you a few more seconds to do the poll. Okay, all right, great. I can see most of you voted, about 70%. Okay, so I'm going to end the poll and share the results. Okay, and that's great. That's what I like to see. So I can see that 70% of you here today are teaching young learners, which is great because the lesson we're doing is aimed at young learners. And I can see that also a lot of you are also teaching teens and very young learners. Okay, so that's great. It's just helpful for me to know that we've got the right people here today. Okay, if you are teaching university or adults, I'm sure some of the things we do today, will also be relevant to what, to your teaching. Just you might have to adapt them slightly. Okay. So before we begin, just to give you a bit of context, so the model lesson we're doing today, it comes from our young learner program called Look. And as you can see from my slide here, Look is a 7-level program, and it is for students who are roughly from a pre-A1 level on the CEFR all the way up to B1. So it's kind of like complete beginner up to a kind of intermediate level. And as I mentioned, it's for primary or elementary school children, so roughly 6 to 12 years old. I'll talk a bit more about the program later. So today's lesson is from Look Level 5. Okay, so it's the second highest book in the program because we start from starter up to level 6. So this is a higher level. So this is for students who would be about an A2 level, which is kind of like a high pre-intermediate level. And this lesson is aimed at students who are about 11 years old. Okay, so the main tool that I'm going to be using today is the classroom presentation tool. And if you're not sure what that is, I'll just briefly explain. So we call it the CPT, Classroom Presentation Tool, and it's a digital resource that has all of the content from the student book, but it also has all the workbook content. It has all of the media, the audio, the video, the games. It has interactive activities, has everything you need to teach the lesson, whether you're in the classroom or whether you're online, all in one place. So it's a piece of software that you can download onto your computer, or if you are using the program, if you're using our learning management system, you can also access this online. So you can have it online, or you can download it onto your computer. So let's go and have a look. This is what it looks like. Let's go do a new share, and we're going to go over and have a look at the CPT. Here we go. So now we are in the CPT. I think you can see it. So if I just hover over, you can see, I can see all the units here. There are 12 units. If I hover over one, You can see I have two choices, student book or workbook. Okay, can you see that? Can you just type into the chat box for me? Are you looking at the CPT? Just so thank you, Alexander. Perfect. Okay, so today we're going to be looking at unit number 6, helping the environment. So let's go to the student's book. When I click on that, you can see I can choose all of the lessons here. So you can see that there are 7 lessons in each unit of look. And we're going to start off with the unit opener. I click on that, I can choose here just to look at one page because I want to focus your attention just on this page. Sometimes I find, with my students, especially young learners, if I've got both pages up, they might be looking at these giraffes over here. So I want to try and focus their attention on what I want, which is this image here. So let's start off with a nice, easy question. What can you see? Okay, what can you see on your screen right now? And where is it? Yeah, the gardens by the bay. Okay, that's right. Botanical gardens, a garden in Singapore. Yeah, so I've chosen this lesson partly because, as I was saying earlier, I live in Singapore. So it's nice for me to share with you this place that I visited many times. Beautiful place. Let's answer these questions down here, okay, these discussion questions, which we're going to get our students to think a bit more about the topic. So these are called super trees. Are they real trees? Can you answer in the chat box for me? Okay, so they're not real trees. I don't know if any of you attended my webinar a couple of weeks ago called Is It Alive? Okay, talked about being alive. How about these trees? Are they alive? So they're not real trees, but are they alive? So I think we've got a couple of no's in there. Someone says yes, maybe, no, yes. What can you see on the side of the trees? So once alive, right? Some of you were in my webinar. Okay, some of it, okay, some parts of it. So we can see that they're green, right? So there are plants on there. So this is a special kind of garden that we call a vertical garden, okay, which is where we plant plants. We put plants on the side, often of buildings. Okay, in this case, these artificial trees. Can anyone tell me, so these super trees, they're good for the environment, which is our topic today. Can anyone tell me how these super trees help the environment? Give you a clue if you look at this text over here. Okay, by providing oxygen, that's a great answer. Okay, Ryan says it catches water and it makes solar energy. There we go. So 3 things. They provide oxygen and clean air. Okay, so they absorb carbon dioxide, the plants do, and then they release oxygen. That's respiration, as we talked about a couple of weeks ago. And we can also see here, it says that they catch water. So at the top are these sort of funnel, it's a funnel shape, and they actually collect rainwater, okay, and they use this water to water the plants in the gardens by the bay. And they also have solar panels. I think we can see some of them up here on the top, and that collects it collects energy, okay, and they use that energy in the evening. I don't know if any of you have been to Gardens by the Bay, but there is a light show, a light and music show, and it's all powered by the solar energy collected by the super trees. So I think these they're beautiful, okay, they're interesting to look at, and they're also interesting from an environmental point of view. I can also tell you a couple of extra facts I got from the teacher's book. So these trees, they're between 25 and 50 meters high. So they're very, very big. And we can see that you mentioned the plants here. There are actually over 200 species of plants that grow on the super trees. And there are over 160,000 individual plants which have been planted onto these super trees. So there's a huge variety of different plants there. And yeah, it's very interesting to see. Okay, so before we turn the page, okay, as we're talking about conservation, I'm going to show you a few things that I've brought in with me, some realia that I've brought in. I'm just going to show you up on the screen here. Okay, can anyone tell me, okay, what I've got in my hand at the moment? What can you see here? Okay, so we've got, yeah, a PET bottle or an empty bottle, a water bottle, a plastic bottle. Okay, I've got something else here. Okay, maybe you can hear that. Okay, what can we see here? What's this I've got? A wrapper. Okay, that's right. Okay, candy wrapper. Yeah, it's a wrapper. It's a food wrapper. And I've got one more thing to show you. What's this over here? This one. I'm trying to find things without branding on. Okay. Yeah, okay, so we've got a bag, right? And what can you tell me? What do these three things have in common? The three things I showed you, right? They're all made of plastic. That's absolutely right. Okay, they're all made of plastic. Okay, remember, so today you're all my students, okay? So you are my 11-year-old students, okay? So they're all plastic. They're non-biodegradable, Beatrix. That is right. Can anyone tell me if these plastic things, are they good for the environment? Okay, what do you think? Okay, they're not good for the environment. Okay, I think we can all agree that plastic is bad for the environment. Can anyone tell me why? Why is plastic bad for the environment? Okay, Alexander says microplastic. Right, so microplastic basically gets everywhere. Apparently it's in our food, it's everywhere, we're all eating it, it's in the oceans. Right, it takes thousands of years to break down. That's right. If you burn it, it causes pollution. Yeah, so a lot of you using this word degradable, right? Not biodegradable. As is for 11-year-olds, can anyone explain what the word biodegradable means? Right, it doesn't decompose. That's right. So if we throw like an apple onto the ground, okay, it will actually, in the end, it will kind of dissolve, okay, into the ground, right? The cells will break down. But plastic doesn't work like that. Plastic, although you can break it into smaller pieces, okay, it still keeps its structure. So even when it's so small you can't see it, okay, there are still these bits of plastic there. It cannot be absorbed into the ground. So this is why one of you mentioned microplastics. This is the problem, that actually plastic like this, okay, it doesn't decompose, okay, it stays, it just gets smaller and smaller, and in the end it ends up in everything. So we are actually even consuming this in our food. The fish in the sea, they have plastic in them. Okay, very good. That's right. So plastic, it's obviously bad. So we need to think about ways that we can reduce our use of plastic. A couple of you mentioned something there. Okay, you said that, another reason it's bad for the environment is that it can, animals can get stuck in the bags, like fish can get caught up in them, or animals swallow them because they think they're jellyfish, and then they get stuck in the animal's stomach. They can't feed properly. So a lot of problems that we have just now. Okay, so we're going to now move on, and we're going to look at 5 things that we can do to help the environment. So before we look at that, maybe you can type a couple of ideas into the chat box for me. So if you think about the plastic bag, plastic bottle, and plastic wrapper that I just showed you, can you think of any things that we can do to help the environment? Just type into the chat box. Very nice. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Okay, use reusable bottle instead. That's right. The 3 R's. Use a paper bag. That's right, because paper is biodegradable. We can plant trees. Okay, use reusable bottle. Take public transportation. Buy organic stuff. Very nice. A lot of you putting in the 3 R's. Okay, 3 R's. Stop using plastic. Replace them with natural material products, exactly like paper bags. Use a canvas bag when we go shopping. Turn them into bricks to build houses. Yeah, I've seen this actually. That's a great idea, isn't it? If we compact the plastic, okay, we can actually use that as a building material. That's a great idea. Plastic pillows. I can see a lot of you have been reading articles about this. Develop plastic eating bacteria. Very interesting. I wonder if that bacteria, if it got into the wrong place, we might suddenly have holes in everything. Okay, plastic can be turned into chairs. That's perfect. So some really nice ideas there. Okay, we're going to move on to the next lesson, the first lesson, which is a vocabulary lesson. And I'm going to zoom in here and let's have a look at some of the ideas. So we're actually going to go through, we're going to listen to each of these 5 things that we can do to help the environment. And we're going to also study some of the vocabulary as we go through. Okay, so let's listen and find out what we can do.
5 ways to help the environment. 1. If possible, don't buy drinks in plastic bottles. If you have to buy a bottle of water, don't throw it away. You can make a pencil holder and keep pencils in it.
Okay, let me pause there. Could you hear that okay? Let me just check that the sound is working. Yes, great, okay. So number one, okay, as one of you mentioned before, don't buy plastic bottles. We could use a reusable bottle. Okay, that's right. Let me ask you, is that something that you already do? Okay, are you using this kind of bottle, or do you have maybe one like this that I have here? Okay, I've got my my water bottle, which I fill up every day. Just gonna take a sip there. Okay, use both. Okay, there we go. Let's have a quick look at some of this vocabulary. I think we know plastic because we've already looked at it. Okay, so I don't need to explain that one too much, but let's have a look at this one here. It says, don't throw it away. Okay, don't throw it away. So we've got two words here, throw and away. So this one, okay, what does this mean? Okay, if we throw something away, it means that we put it where do we put it? We throw something away. Someone said discard. That's very good. If I want to throw this away, where do I put it? Right, I put it in the trash, okay, in the garbage bin, in the rubbish bin. I put it in the bin, okay? So this is to throw away. It means I don't want it anymore. I get rid of it. I discard it, okay? This is throw away. It says you can make a pencil holder and you can keep pencils in it. How about this word keep? What does this word mean, keep? And how is it related to throw away? So keep means we can use it again. Yeah, and Jenny's absolutely right. So keep is the opposite of throw away. Okay, so if I want this bottle, I can keep it, and if I don't want it, I can throw it away. I can put it in the rubbish. Okay, so these are two opposites: keep and throw away. Great. Okay, let's listen to the next one. Number 2.
2. Don't buy plastic bags at the supermarket. Reuse a bag from home.
Okay, here we go. And tip number 2, don't buy plastic bags at the supermarket. I don't know in your country if you have to pay for the plastic bags or if they're free. In Singapore, they are still free, and people they hand out a lot of them. So it's saying here to take a bag from home. So how about this word here? So we've got the word use. So you probably recognize this word use. What's this at the beginning? So we've got a prefix here. We've got 2 letters re, which we pronounce re. So what does this mean, reuse? That's exactly right, Stanley. Okay, it means again. So when we see a verb with re at the beginning, it means do it again. So reuse means use it again. Sometimes we say reusable bag. Okay, now do any of you do this? Do you take a reusable bag to the supermarket? I do in Singapore. I try to always take them. And honestly, in the supermarkets I go to, not many people do. I'm usually the only person that I can see at the checkout who actually has a reusable bag. Okay, in the Philippines, you have to pay. I think it's a good idea that we have to pay, because if you have to pay, you're less likely to use them. Okay, let's have a look at number 3.
3. Collect litter when you go to the park. Put it in the garbage can or recycle it.
Okay, here we go, number 3. So we've got here this word collect. Okay, collect litter. So first of all, this word litter, okay, this is similar to a word we already talked about. We said when you throw something away, we put it in the bin, right? We said that you put rubbish in the bin. So this word litter, it's very similar meaning to rubbish, isn't it? So what's the difference between litter and rubbish? So litter is rubbish. What's the difference? I'll give you a clue. Yeah, it's where it is. Jenny's got it. So litter is when it's on the ground, okay? If you just throw something on the ground, it's litter. It shouldn't be there. So if we pick up the litter and we put it in the rubbish bin, okay, now it's rubbish, okay? Or in British English, rubbish. In American English, it's garbage or trash. Okay, so litter is things that shouldn't be there on the ground, like this plastic bottle. So we're going to collect it, okay? So collect means to put all together, okay? And then put it into the garbage can. Okay, here's another word. Look, we've got here this re, okay? Now we looked at the word re, we said it means again. And here we've got the word cycle. Okay, recycle. Now, you recognize the word cycle from a bicycle, right? Okay, now, what does the word cycle mean? So it means, recycle means cycle again, but what does the word cycle mean? Can anyone tell me? I'll give you a clue. Right, it means to go round. Okay, so this word recycle, it means that we we have something, maybe we've got like an empty can of drink, okay, made of aluminium, and we've got the can, okay, then we drink it, okay, and then we put it in the recycling bin. What happens? They take that back to the factory, okay, and they make it again, okay, they melt it down, they make a new can. So it's a repeating, as Nathasia says there, Jafita says it's a repeating process. So when we recycle, it means we're doing this process again. So it goes from can, okay, then we melt it down, we make a new can, and it goes over and over again. So we can use the aluminium again and again and again. That's exactly right. So recycle. So we can recycle aluminium cans. What can you think of another material we can recycle? Apart from aluminium, what else can we recycle? Right, metal, glass, paper, that's right. Okay, paper. How about plastic? So what about this? Can we recycle this bottle? Yes, we can. How about this? Can we recycle this? This plastic bag? So this kind of plastic we can't. Okay, this kind of plastic we cannot recycle, but this kind of plastic we can. So it actually depends, okay, on the plastic itself, on the type of plastic. Very nice. Okay, let's listen to number 4.
4. Don't turn on a light if you don't need it. Turn off the light when you leave a room.
Okay, here we go. So we've got another tip about lights, okay? Okay, can you tell me, why should we turn off the light? Okay, so we have the light on, okay, then we turn it off, means the light, there's no light. So we're going to save energy, okay, save power. Okay, and what's the name of the energy that we use for the light? What type of energy is it? It's electricity, right? Okay, so we're going to save electricity, okay, save energy, save power. That's exactly right. We've got here turn on and turn off. Okay, one more, last one.
5. Recycle old magazines or use them for art projects.
Okay, and the last one, again, it's using this word recycle. Okay, recycle old magazines. Okay, what are magazines made of? We mentioned this just now, they're made of paper. So we said, didn't we? We said that we can recycle, we can send this back, they can pulp the paper and then they can make it into new paper. That's right. Or it says here we can use them for art projects. So maybe we can cut up the magazines and we can make them into something new and something beautiful. Okay, very nice. So these are 5 ways. I hope that you don't do some of these yourself. I just want to talk a little bit, okay, before we move on. I want to talk a little bit about a couple of the words that we've got here. So I'm just going to get my pen and we're going to have a look at this. So let's have a look. I mentioned this earlier. So here we've got the verb throw, and then we've got another word here, away. And if we put these 2 words together, we're using what we call a phrasal verb. Okay, so a phrasal verb, what that means, it means it's a verb with 2 or 3 words in it. All right, so phrasal verb. Little tip for you, okay, here, the word away, okay, so a phrasal verb, sorry, I'll go back a little bit. A phrasal verb is made up of a verb and either a preposition or an adverb. If you're little tip for you, if you're looking at a word in English and you don't know what type of word it is, you don't know what part of speech it is, it's probably going to be an adverb. Okay, so this one actually here, away, this is an adverb, right? We can also call it particle, that's right. Okay, so throw and away, this is verb plus adverb, together it's a phrasal verb. Okay, let's have a look down here. Can anyone see in the text here, can anyone find for me 2 more phrasal verbs? Just type them into the chat box. Jenny's got them, well done. Turn on and turn off. Here we go. Turn on and turn off. So let's have a quick look at those ones. Okay, we've got 2 more phrasal verbs there. If we look at the verb turn, okay, turn means like this, doesn't it? Turn means to actually move something in a circle. So if we're talking about a light and we say turn on, when you turn on the light, do you turn something like this? Or does it have a slightly different meaning? Okay, switch, right? So normally for me, my lights, I don't actually turn anything. I press, right? I press here at the bottom or I press at the top. So we can say that this turn on, in this case, it's a non-literal meaning, or someone mentioned it's an idiomatic meaning. Okay, so it means that when we put the words together, the meaning changes. It gives it a new meaning. It doesn't mean to turn. Okay, so what does it actually mean when we say turn on or turn off? What does it actually mean? If we have to explain this, what is it doing? So it doesn't mean this. Okay, yeah, some good ideas here. Stop using it, right? Make it work. That's good. Use the energy. I like this one, Yushi. It says, make something start to work. That's right. So I think to activate, that's another great answer. I think it means to start something happening, okay? To start the flow of something. In this case, it's electricity. Can you think of is it only for energy? When we say turn on or turn off, I mean, what else can we turn on? So we can turn on the light. I can turn on my computer. What else can we turn on? TV, stove, interesting. We can turn on the stove, right? So that could be electricity, but it also could be gas, right? So it doesn't have to be electricity. We can turn on the AC, turn on the tap. Andrew says turn on the tap, right? So again, it doesn't have to be energy. It could also be water, but all of these things, we're starting something, a movement, a flow, whether it's electricity or gas or water. Okay, we're starting the flow of something, okay, which makes it activate. Okay, very nice. So that is the meaning of turn on and turn off. Let's see, one more. We said that this turn on, turn off, it's a non-literal meaning. Okay, it's a different meaning. Let's go back to throw away. Okay, if I'm throwing something away, is this a literal meaning? So think about the meaning of throw. So when we say throw away, is that a literal meaning or is it an idiomatic meaning? Is it a new meaning? Okay, so a few of you are putting literal. So I don't know how you do it. I mean, when you go to the bin, are you doing it like this? Okay, from maybe the other side of the room. Okay, are you literally throwing it like that? So it depends. Maybe some of you like practicing basketball or something. Yeah, so for me, I think that it is, I think it's idiomatic. I think it means to discard, to get rid of. It doesn't really mean actually to throw it. So I would say, yeah, I suppose it depends how you use it in the sentence. You could throw something away from you, but I think in this case, okay, to throw away rubbish, I think we would say that it has a new meaning. It doesn't literally mean to throw. Okay, that's great. Okay, we're going to move on, all right, to the writing. So I said this is a writing lesson. So let's move on and have a look at the writing. All right, let me get both pages up. Here we go. All right. So we are, let me zoom in and get rid of the pen. There we go. And we're going to do a quiz. All right. So I hope you like doing quizzes. We've got a nice multiple choice quiz, and it's talking about how green you are. Okay. How green are you is the name of the quiz. And obviously green, this color green, well, you can tell me, what does it mean? If we say someone is green, what do we mean? We don't mean the color of their skin. Okay. We don't mean maybe they're not feeling very well. Okay, healthy. Yeah, okay, Alexander's got it. So if we say someone is green, it means that they are environmentally friendly. Okay, it means that they care about the environment. It means their actions, okay, what they do is good for the environment. We have another idiom that we use. If we say someone has green fingers, have any of you heard this before? We say he has green fingers. It means that they are very good at doing something, good at gardening. That's right, they're good at looking after plants. Okay, they can grow plants well. They have green fingers. So green, connected to nature, connected to the environment. Okay, let's go through and have a look at some of the questions here, and we're just going to do it. We're going to enjoy it. We're going to go through and do the questions ourselves. So I'm going to ask you to answer as a poll so we can find out how green we are. Okay, so question number one, it says you have some old plastic bags. What do you do with them? Answer A, plastic bags. I don't have any plastic bags. I always take my backpack to the supermarket. B, I make them into a cool modern pillow. And I noticed a couple of you mentioned plastic pillows earlier. Or C, I throw them away. So let me put a poll question. Here we go. So let's do it as a poll. So you should see it on your screen now. So just for question number 1. Okay, what's your answer? Plastic bags. I don't have any plastic bags. B, I make them to a modern pillow. Or C, I throw them away. Okay, let's see. So we've got almost 100 people have answered now. Okay, just give you a few more seconds. See if we can get up to 50%. Let's see if we can get 50% of you to vote. Would be great. We're on 45% now. Yeah, you have to be honest. Diana says we have to be honest. Yes, we have to be honest. It's very important. Okay, right. I'm going to end the poll and show you. Okay, so let's share the results. So we can see that 46% of you, let me write this down. And said C. Okay, we're not going to look at what the results mean just yet. Okay, that's interesting. Let's do one more. Okay, so stop sharing. Okay, let's have a look at number 2. Question number 2. There are a lot of old magazines in your bedroom. What do you do with them? A, I reuse them for an art project. B, I put them under the bed and forget about them. Or C, I put them in the garbage can. Okay, I throw them away, put them in the rubbish. Okay, so let's try again. Okay, so let's do the poll again. Okay, question number 2, A, B, or C. Remember, be honest, okay? Okay, we're a bit faster this time, almost up to 50% already. Okay, just give you a couple more seconds. Okay, here we go. I'm going to end the poll and just have a look at the results. So this time we've got more A's. We've got 53% of you said A. So as I think most of you are teachers, you'd probably be using them with your students. Am I right? Because it's nice for them. Someone said I would sell them. Okay, I would sell them. Yeah, that's a good point. You've got to choose the one closest to you. So maybe your answer isn't a perfect match. You can choose the one that's closest to what you would do. Okay, 33% and 14%. Right, let's just do one more. Okay, let's just do one more and then we'll move on. So let's try number 3. So number 3, do you turn off the lights when you leave a room? Okay, answer A, yes, of course, I always turn off the lights. B, sometimes. Or C, no, never, I'm scared of the dark. Okay, remember, be honest. Okay, this is the last one we're going to do. Do you turn off the lights when you leave the room? I remember when I was young, when I was a child, I was always getting in trouble from my parents for not turning off the lights. Okay, let's see. We've got a good amount of responses. Okay, so I'm going to end the poll. And we'll have a look. Wow, look at this one. So here we've got 84% of you said A. Okay, 16% said B, and only 1% of you said never. Okay, so we've got one very honest person there, 2 honest people. Okay, so there we go. So these are our results, okay, that we've had a look at. Okay, we're not going to do the last one just because of time, but we're going to go and have a look over here, right? So this is the writing lesson. So let's have a look what it tells us about writing. So let's have a look, first of all, okay, at the number 2. So it says here in the multiple choice quiz, we write questions and then we give 3 or 4 possible answers for each question. okay, then we write a key, and the key tells you your result. So this is the kind of quiz that you often find in magazines, or you often find, I often see this kind of quiz on Facebook, on social media. It tells you, take this test to find out what kind of person you are. So these are, they're fun, fun quizzes that we do. And an important part is the key. Now let's have a look at this here, the way they've done the key. So we've got mostly A's. So for us, we had all 3 questions, we had mostly A's. So what does that mean? It means that all of you are eco-heroes. You are very, very green. Well done. Okay, if you put B for most of your answers, it says, not bad, you're quite green, but you could be better. How could you be more green? And if you answered mostly C, which was not very many of you, we can say, oh no, okay, you aren't very green at all. It's time to think more about the environment. So this is one way we can do the key, where we have every time the answer A is the best answer, the greenest one, and answer C is the least green, okay, the worst answer. But can anyone think of a slight problem if we make our quiz in this way? So A is always the greenest answer and C is always the worst answer. Can anyone type into the chat box for me? What might be a problem of organizing our quiz like that? Right, Ryan says students can have an idea about the pattern. That's right. So immediately they'll be able to tell, oh, well, the teacher is talking, we're learning about being green. The teacher wants me to put A. So people, exactly. So people might just start choosing A because they think that's the best thing to do. So I would say that a better way of doing this is to mix up the answers, okay, to mix them around. And it's not difficult to do that. I'm going to show you. So here, let me just quickly show you this. There we go. So you can easily make, a handout, okay, for your students. You just put the questions here, you put the answer and the number of points. And then when students are making their questions, this is their answer key. So they just go through and they put, okay, for question number 1, answer A is worth 1 point. Okay. B is worth 3 points and C is worth 2 points. And they just randomly put them in the box. Okay. And that way, when they're doing the quiz, as someone says there, they're going to pay more attention to what they're reading, because they're not just going to know, oh, this is, I should be putting A. Okay, so they're going to pay much closer attention to the reading. So I think this will make for a better quiz. And students like doing this as well. They like putting the answers in because it's, it's like a puzzle. Okay, it's almost like a puzzle. So, when they're answering the questions, they need to think more carefully. Okay, let's go back, okay, into here. All right, so we're going to have a go, okay, at writing our own quiz. But before we do, okay, we need to think of some ideas. So how are we going to get students to think of their own ideas? So I think a nice way to do that is by showing them some pictures, okay, and getting them to brainstorm some ideas, which is what we're going to do now. Okay, so here I've got a picture. All of these pictures are rights free. I've taken them from pixabay.com. If you're looking for somewhere to get pictures you can use in your classes. And I want to think about how this picture is related to the environment, and to think of ideas, what could we do to help the environment related to this picture? So first of all, what can you see here? What can you see in the picture? We can see a tap. Okay, so we can say, turn off the tap. Okay, can you think of any examples of times where people might leave the tap running for a long time? I can think of one. Okay, right. Okay, so turn off the tap when doing dishes. Should type it in properly. Brushing teeth, Ryan, that's right. A lot of people, when brushing your teeth, a lot of people leave the tap running when they're brushing their teeth. I'm not sure why. Okay, so we could turn off the tap. Anything else to do with water? Okay, anything else you can think of about water? How can we save water? So apart from turning off the tap, any other ways we can save water? Take fewer showers, right? Take fewer showers, maybe take shorter showers. Don't. Maybe instead of baths, right? I'm not going to say don't take a bath. Okay, so maybe take shorter showers instead of baths. Okay, that's great. Okay, reuse water. Yeah, okay, reuse water, right. Okay, so maybe after you've used the water for something, okay, maybe you've just been rinsing your plates or whatever, you could save that water and you could use it to water your plant, right? As long as it doesn't have soap in it. Okay, what else could we do? Use some buckets. Okay, collect water. Okay, there we go. Some great ideas here. Okay, reuse, water the plants. There we go. Use an environmentally friendly toilet, right? So use the short flush on the toilet if you've got one of those toilets, right? Okay, use eco mode on washing machine or toilet, right? Okay, perfect. There's lots of great answers here. Let's try another one. Okay, here we've got bins. Okay, what can we think of for bins? Okay, how can we help the environment? Something related to these bins. Okay, so don't buy plastic products. Okay, good. What else could we do? Okay, separate. Okay, separate the garbage. Okay, so recycle. Okay, reuse plastic. Okay, maybe another one. Only buy what you need. Okay, because if we buy too much, we end up throwing it away. Compost, that's a good one. Okay, compost. So we can actually have one bin for organic material, for food waste, right? We can put that into a compost bin. That's great. Lots of good ideas. Okay, how about next one? Food. Okay, how about food? What can we do linked to food? That can help the environment. Eat less meat. There we go. Very nice. Eat less meat. Anything else we can do for food? Only eat what you need. That's right. Don't waste food, right? Don't waste food. This is a hot topic in Singapore at the moment. Okay. Eat less processed food. Good. Grow your own. There we go. And related to that would be buy. This is a big thing in the UK. Buy local, right? No. What do they call them? Food mile. Have you heard this before? In the UK, we call it food miles, right? Okay, so if you buy something in England, if you buy something that's from Australia, it's been flown the whole way around the world, right? So that causes a massive amount of pollution. So if you buy something that's just grown down the road, there are no food miles, okay? There we go. Only buy what you need. Some excellent ideas in here, right? Buy food from the farmer's market, eat organic. Okay, there we go. Upcycle your leftovers to new menus, right? Okay, so yeah, don't throw the leftovers away. Okay, make them into a new meal. Okay, perfect. So you've got some really great ideas there. Okay, let's quickly go back and have a look at the writing now. So what I want to do now is I want to make some questions. Okay, make a couple of questions. So let's go back and have a look at the model. Okay, so here's our model. So if we look at question 1, it says you have some old plastic bags. What do you do with them? So in the model here, we've got basically a statement. So the first part of the question is telling us our situation. And the second part is a question. You have some old plastic bags. What do you do with them? Okay, so this is one type of question. Then we want a good answer, an okay answer, and a bad answer. Okay, if we go down and have a look at question number 3, here we've just got a yes, no question. Okay, do you turn off the lights when you leave a room? We've got 3 options, yes, no, and sometimes. Another way we could phrase this question is how often do you? Okay, how often do you? And we could have always, sometimes, and never. Okay, so basically we have 2 kinds of questions. The first one, we give a situation, and then we give 3 choices. The second one is a yes, no question. Okay, so let's have a go at making a question. So we're going to go to here. Okay, where's my question? Let's do it down here. Okay, so I want to ask a question about brushing the teeth. Okay, so I want to do this brushing the teeth question. So we're going to set it, I want to do it as a statement. Okay, so I'm going to say, okay, the question starts like this. You are brushing your teeth. Okay, now I want your help here. How can I finish this? So now I need to make a question about people's behavior. Okay, so I'm going to say, what do you do? Okay, now I need 3 options. Okay, so let's start off. What is the worst option? If you're brushing your teeth and this is linked to the tap, okay, let's have the tap. Okay, turn off, turn off, turn on, turn off. What would be the worst option here? The worst option is not brushing your teeth. Okay, there we go. So A, what do you do? Okay, so I'm going to put here leave, or let's have turn the tap on. Okay, we'll keep it simple. Okay, so turn the tap on, we could say leave the tap on. Okay, B. Okay, what would be the best option? Okay, turn the tap off. Okay, and someone put in another option there that I like, which is use a glass full of water. Okay, so the best one, okay, would be, I think, turn the tap off. Okay, the worst one, have the tap on, and the one in the middle, use a glass full of water. Okay, there we go. So perhaps this is our 3 choices, yeah? And we put them in random order. Okay, let's do one more. Okay, let's do one more. So let's think about, shall we do this one with the food? Okay, so we're going to pick one of these ideas. So can someone type into the chat box for me a yes/no question, okay, which is linked to one of these points, okay, one of these 5 points. So someone type in a yes/no question, or one that we can answer yes, sometimes, or never. Okay, there we go. Do you grow your own food? Okay, that's good. Do you grow your own food? So Chums, but don't waste food. So we want it to be a question. Okay. So don't waste food. Do you buy or grow your own? Do you throw away the left? How about that one? I like that one with leftovers, right? So maybe do you throw away your leftovers? Okay, so let's try that. Yeah. So do you throw away leftover food? Okay. So let's start with an okay answer. So what would be an okay answer? Do you throw away leftover food? Okay. Oh, I'm putting it in the wrong place. I'm typing it into the chat box. Okay. Sometimes I can't finish my meal. Okay. B, how about what's the worst answer? What's the worst one? Yes. Always. I don't eat much. Okay. And the best one would be, I thought someone already typed it. Yeah, I don't have any leftovers. Okay, I always finish my meal. Okay, so here we go. We've got a nice question. Okay, and then we've got 3 answers, again in random order. All right, so you can see here, hopefully what we can see is that by going through these pictures, okay, we've given some ideas, and then the next step is to ask students to pick these, and then they'll probably need some help with this, okay, but then you could put them into groups to come up with a question, and then to come up with these 3 answers. And what we're going to focus on, remember, is having one good answer, one bad answer, okay, and one answer that's in the middle. Okay, and once they've got this idea, they should be able to go through and make their own questions. All right. Okay, that's perfect. So let's just try one of these questions, okay, while we're here. So let's do this one. Okay, do you throw away leftover food? Let's do this one as a poll. Okay, one more time. So I'm going to relaunch that poll. Okay, let's see. Do you throw away leftover food? What's your answer? Is it A, B, or C? Okay, let's see what we get. Okay, all right, great. I'll give you a couple more seconds. Okay, let's have a look and see what we got. Okay, so let's see. According to our question that we did here, so 53% of you said sometimes I can't finish my meal. Okay, 11% of you have very small appetites. Okay, you always leave some food there, and 36% of you are either very conscious about the environment or just very hungry, like me. I always finish my meal. It doesn't matter how much food you give me, I'm going to finish it. I think maybe for me, it's just I'm greedy. Okay, very nice. So this is the idea. So we're not going to make the whole quiz, okay, but hopefully you can see from this, okay, we're going through the process of looking at the model questions, okay, doing the quiz, looking at the model questions, then generating ideas using the pictures, then analyzing the questions, and then getting students to actually make the questions themselves. Obviously, the next step is to get them to interview each other, do the quiz, and then use the key, okay, and then discuss how green they are. So I think this is a very nice activity, okay, a very nice process writing activity, which has got clear steps. Okay, right, we're going to go back into my PowerPoint. So let me just get ready here. Start my slideshow. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to mention a couple of things. Okay, so we've just been looking at today, as I mentioned earlier, our program called Look. And as I mentioned earlier, it's a 7-level series for primary age learners. Look has short lessons, okay, which are short and enjoyable. And it's really perfect for schools that have fewer teaching hours available per level. So a whole level of Look will take around 60 hours to teach. It also has a very nice balance between the vocabulary and the grammar, but also skills foundation and confidence boosting exam support that they need to use English successfully. This is a very quick look at what a unit looks like, just so you sort of understand what students will be doing. So you can see here, there's vocabulary, there's 2 grammar inputs, and we've got all the skills in here. Okay, we've got reading, we've got writing, okay, and there's listening and speaking all the way through the unit. The lower levels, so up to level 3, it has phonics, so helping students to get their sound knowledge. And then the higher levels 4 to 6, the phonics lesson is replaced with a writing lesson. And the last lesson in every unit is a video. So we can see that there's a really nice balance of skills that you can find in Look. If you're interested to find out a little bit more about this program, I'm going to ask Andrew to put the link to the product site in the chat box now. And I'm also going to share my final poll, which is here. So if you would like to know a little bit more about the program Look that we've looked at today, if you'd like to find out a bit more about these materials, maybe if this would be a good fit for you and your students, please click yes, and we will contact you with some more information, so you can have a look at your leisure. You can also click on the link that Andrew put in the chat box just now. Okay, and while you're doing that, okay, I'm just going to mention, so today, I've been using the classroom presentation tool, so you can see that it's very easy to use. Okay, it's a very nice way of presenting the materials. It's a very good way of focusing students' attention. But there's also, a lot of other features that we didn't use today. It also has this online practice and learning management system. So the learning management system is so teachers can track the progress of the students, and online practice means that students can do extra practice right on their mobile phone or on their computer, and they really enjoy doing their homework in this digital format. Okay, I'm going to mention, we are going to send you a follow-up email tomorrow, and you will have a link to the recording. So I noticed in the chat box, some of you saying that the connection was not good for you. So you should be able to, the recording, you'll be able to see anything you missed. We'll also send you a certificate a link to the certificate tomorrow. So that will be with you by the end of day tomorrow. Okay, now we're going to do something different today. Okay, so as a kind of thank you, okay, to those of you who have been joining us a lot of times, or maybe if it's your first time, that's fine as well. We're actually going to give out a couple of prizes today. So stay tuned, okay, and get ready to answer a couple of questions. So the first prize that we're going to be giving out today, we're actually going to be giving out an ebook, okay, a digital version, an ebook of Look 5, which is the book we've been using today. So that one of you, okay, is going to be able to have a look through that. Okay, you'll be able to access, okay, you'll be able to access this online or offline, okay, and you'll be able to hopefully get some great ideas for your teaching there. So the question, so this is for the ebook, okay, so the question I'm going to ask you, and it's the first one to type it into the chat box gets the prize, okay. So the first question is this: I want you to name 2 of the 3 phrasal verbs we looked at earlier in the vocabulary section today. So you need 2. Okay, see, someone's got it. Let me go back up. Okay, who is it? It is, oh, it's so difficult to find. A lot of you only put 1. So many, here we go. It is Somfratena Melita. I'm sorry, I can't say your name. Okay, you win. So Somfratena Melita. You win. Okay. I'm just going to send you a message. Okay. I would like you to email me. Okay, I just sent you a message, Sompratana. Okay, so please send me an email, williamlashett.lashett@cengage.com, and I will then reply to you and show you how to access it. Okay, so please make sure that you email me. I'm just writing down the name, Sompratana Melita. Okay, great. That is for the ebook. Okay, and we've got one more prize to give away. And the second one we're going to give out is, oh, my computer seems to have stopped working. Here we go. So we're going to give out a copy of this book, Teaching Young Learners English. So this is our PD, professional development title, written by Joan Kang-shin and Jodie Crandall. And this is a really fantastic book. If you were in Andrew's webinar about classroom management a couple of weeks ago, he used a lot of ideas from this. It's a really wonderful book. And we're going to give away 1 copy of this. Okay, so depending on where you are, where it will either be a physical book or an ebook. I'm hoping to send out a physical book, but at the moment, with the way the post is working, there might be some limitations depending on where you are. So should be the physical book, and if not, it will be the ebook. So yeah, save the earth. That's a good point, Laura. Okay, saving the earth if it's an ebook. So the question, okay, for this prize, the Teaching Young Learners English, the question is, I want you to name 2 ways that the super trees in Singapore help the environment. 2 ways that the super trees help the environment. Let's see who's first. There we go. Alexander. Alexander, you were first. I think, let me just check. Let's see. Alexander Kruglov. There we go. Solar energy collecting water. That's right. You win. Please send me an email at william.lashett@cengage.com. Okay, congratulations to Alexander. Okay, well done. Congratulations. Congratulations to both of our winners today. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that. I did. That was fun. Okay, and if you join us at our next webinar, okay, our next model lesson webinar, you'll get another chance to win something. Okay. Okay. We've got 1 minute left. Okay, let's see. see if I've got any questions in here. How to access school trip videos, Caroline. So the school trip videos, you can access them either through the CPT, okay, or you can access them on the companion website. Okay, I don't know if there are any more questions. If you do have a question, quickly type it into the Q&A box. Beatrix says, how long would you give to make the quiz? So Beatrix, I think if we're aiming for a 4-question quiz, I think, the preparation for that's going to take quite a long time, as the brainstorming, okay, coming up with the ideas. Once they've got all the ideas on the board, I think they're going to need probably 10 minutes, I think. So maybe give them 10 minutes and then check with them. Okay, and then maybe you need to do a kind of editing section. So maybe you give them another 10 minutes after that. But you don't want it to go on for too long. You don't really want kids at 11. You don't want to give them like half an hour to do something because they're going to lose focus. So I would recommend 10 minutes, okay, while you're helping them, then check, and then give them another maybe 5 minutes to edit. Okay, next webinar. Yeah, let's have a look. So we've got lots of upcoming webinars. Andrew, can you please put the link to our webinar registration page into the chat box? You probably already have. I probably didn't see it, but we do have lots of webinars coming up. In fact, why don't I go and show you the page? That would probably be easier. So let me do a new share. My Zoom windows have just completely slowed down now. There we go. Share screen. Let's go to website. Okay, so this is our webinar registration page. Hope you can see that now. So you can see this is today's. You can see that the model lessons, there are 2 sessions, morning and afternoon. And when you visit this page, okay, make sure you scroll down, because there are lots of other sessions down below. So you can see coming up, we've got how to evaluate young learners' writing. We've got exploring the shifting literacy needs in English medium instruction. So EMI, that's going to be really interesting. We've got a session about teaching teenagers. And all these presenters, they're from all over the world. Okay, they've got a lot of experience. They're real experts. These best practice ones are from English experts. Andrew will be back in a couple of weeks with a lesson about the Earth in the future. Okay, again, it's got a kind of conservation theme, and lots of sessions here. Kitty's back at the end of the month, okay, with a very young learner session there. Okay, so please do go to our page, sign up for some sessions. We want to see you in more sessions. Also, another thing, please sign up for our Facebook page as well. Okay, so if you follow us on Facebook, you're going to find out about everything that's coming up, all of our upcoming sessions, as well as teaching tips, lots of great stuff that you're going to see there. Okay, let me see if I can get to the bottom of the chat box. Yeah, cert will be out tomorrow. Thank you, Andrew, for putting everything into the chat box. I'm glad lots of people saying they enjoyed it. That's lovely for me to hear. I enjoyed it as well. Matt, great. I'm glad you've already registered. Thank you, Cynthia. That's nice to hear. Okay, so 3 minutes past the hour. So we're gonna wrap it up there. So thank you very much to everyone for attending. And yeah, we hope to see you in as many of our webinars as you would like to attend. As you can see from this page here, we've got a very large variety, and I'm sure that you'll learn something from all of these. Okay, so thanks very much for attending, and stay tuned for your recording and your certificate, which will come out tomorrow.